It's October 14th today. I want to bring some news about what's happening in the European Union with the World Economic Forum in Brussels. Because, hey, you're not going to see anything about this on our mainstream media. The only thing we hear from Europe regarding, on our mainstream media regarding Europe is that Carney went over there and did a whole bunch of trade deals, which is in total disinformation. There were no trade deals made, no promises, no commitments, nothing signed. Just a bunch of cheap talk. But hey, the Elbosians want to believe Mark Carney's moving trade from the evil orange man into fantasy land, and they believe it. Anyways, little background. In case you're coming into the subject matter cold, the EU Commission in Brussels dictates much political control over the EU member nations. Mass migration being the number one issue. But there's trade and economics and whatnot as well. Anyways, the EU Commission in Brussels is headed by Ursula von der Leyen, who's a powerful World Economic Forum member and sits on the foundation board at the World Economic Forum. Now we get to the blowback and the pushback would be better put, that Ursula von der Leyen, the WEF, and the Commission in Brussels is getting. Italy, Giorgia Meloni, the still very polling popular prime ministers, basically threatened to pull out of the EU Commission. They've just had enough of the EU Commission's control over their border and immigration policies, and she's tore a strip out of von der Leyen and the EU Commission, and by extension, the World Economic Forum. Now it gets interesting. Italy, Denmark, Poland, Austria, Belgium, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and the Czech Republic have stated that they have plans to do a fundamental review on the European Union's Commission as regards human rights. This is political speak for the migration policies that are dictated by Brussels and Ursula von der Leyen. And Hungary, of course, Viktor Orban is also heavy down, let's say, and strongly against von der Leyen and the Commission. So, what else have we got going on? Oh, yeah. Italy, Spain, and I should have taken some notes. A couple of other countries down in that area. So, what do we got? Probably Portugal. And there's another country. Have closed their borders to the open border policy that the EU member countries have, where you can just go from country to country like there is no border. Anybody can just go anywhere, anytime. These countries have said, no, we're not doing that anymore. So at the border, they're asking for ID, and at the airports, if you fly in, expect a 4.5 hour delay as they're checking ID, taking fingerprints and facial recognition. I'm not sure if they're doing that at the borders or just the airports. Heavy pushback against the WEF. Meanwhile, in France, gotta mention France, both the far left party and Marine Le Pen's right-wing parties have officially called for non-confidence votes on Emmanuel Macron, the Prime Minister of France, for Thursday. So it remains to be seen whether the Socialist Party will back Macron or not. Could be the end of Macron, and that would only be a good thing. Should an election be called in France, a non-confidence, and bring down the WEF Macron government, Marine Le Pen's right-wing party's pretty much a shoe-in. Same would happen in Germany if they called the non-confidence vote there on who's their current chancellor, Friedrich Merz, who's a YGL WEF member. In Germany, the right-wing AfD party is polling strongly. So the WEF is losing its grip in Europe. It's getting a lot of pressure. Old Ursula there is looking more and more haggard by the day. Ursula von der Leyen, the wicked witch of the WEF, as I call her. But meanwhile, in Canada, we have a federal liberal government that is 90% WEF members, and of course Mark Carney sits on the foundation board and board of trustees at the World Economic Forum. Although I keep seeing in my comments people saying no, he doesn't, as they list the WEF's website for the board of directors, not the board of trustees or the foundation board. There is some speculation that Carney resigned his position at the foundation board in January, but I can find no confirmation of that. And the leopard doesn't change its spots anyways. So that's the news from Europe.